Hey there, YouTubers. Right, so this video gonna go look at one of the calculators and look to see which one is the best deal between the 3900X, the 3900 XT, 3950X, 5900X, and the 5950X. All right, and we pretty much know we can throw all the Intel CPUs out because the L3 cache is terrible. Now, if you did have three i9s, they'll make some money, right? But is it worth it? That's another story. It would take forever to pay those off, at least from what I'm seeing. Now, of course, right now CPU mining is okay here. I wouldn't say it's as awesome as some of the channels on the internet are saying, but it's worth at least diving into it a little bit, putting these CPUs to use. Hopefully, we won't burn them out. Now, I have been mining honestly for about 48 hours, and I've had to switch my accounts on here, but this was the first. I think this is about the first 30 hours. We made 102 Raptoreum. So we have the 102. I'm about to sneeze. 102 plus the 13.59. So before I switched over, I had made 115. Now, if we go to where we're currently at, and this thing's really lagging, so I'm thinking I'm in the 50, 60 range, but I could be wrong. This is starting all over again. Of course, it had to, get going, and now every, I think it's like every couple hours it'll update with some new numbers on here. But I have not put all of my CPUs to work yet. I am, just kind of doing a little test here. You can see a lot of the CPUs at the bottom, what they're hashing. Got the 10700K, 10100, 10900, 8300, 3900X, right? Look at that average, what it's doing now. 11400. So you can see most of these are a joke to even bother with. 8700K, which is the computer I'm sitting on. Then we have a 10600K. I've had as well the 11600K and one other. Unfortunately, they have been shutting down my computers that I'm doing GPU mining on, so I've had to can those. Otherwise, I would probably put all of them to work. I'm not going to waste my time with the Pentiums, the Celerons, all those other CPUs, but this isn't even a third of the CPUs I have, so I've got a lot more. Some of them, seem to be a waste of time. 3200G, the 5300G. It pretty much starts at the Ryzen 7, Ryzen 9, etc. All right. So where do we leave off at, folks? We were going to go look at a calculator. I showed you what I've been making. I'm not getting rich off this, right? But let's start with the bottom. What would be the bottom? And I wasn't going to go over 3700s and all that, but here's this calculator, mineraptorium.com. A lot of people going over this. I actually was on the site of the person that says they came up with this. I don't know if the guy takes credit for it. Kind of just threw this up here. I would have my name all over it. Links to my website. Hell, maybe I'll make my own. All right, so you got AMD here, right? You don't have to click that, but let's start with 13900X. Now it shows that right there, 13900X, which has a hash rate of 3555. Now let's go back. Is that actually what mine's averaging? No. So why isn't mine averaging that, folks? Well, I'm not overclocking mine. I have a pretty awesome Noctua CPU cooler on it, but I have not optimized that. So we're leaving a little bit behind here. Is it a mistake? Probably. The funny thing is 3900X is actually not one of my favorite CPUs here. Anything by Intel that's an i7 I like better. And a lot of the newer i5s I like better than that thing. But it's good to see that I can actually use this for something besides the gaming videos. All right, so you see that estimated daily return, 48. You know, that's probably, I guess that's accurate. Here we are 2 days into this. I probably do have, I would hope somewhere north of 150 of these. I mean, I know it doesn't show it necessarily. We saw whatever we saw, 115 plus 27, so 142. And that's, you know, that's the 3900X and all those other CPUs mining. So there's a lag. I think in a, you know, few days I'll get a better idea how much it's actually making. Now the good thing is, here's a nice hash. I am probably, you know, I'm going to get up to closer to 100 of these, so we'll be making closer to $5 a day on this, assuming, you know, electric's not too bad. But I digress. Back to this. This is 3900X. It says here, and this is current value for Raptoreum, you will make a daily 252. Okay. Now, you also factor in your energy costs. You know, pretty much everybody goes with that, right? Watts per mining rig. So how do we know this one, right? Well, I've got graphics cards on here, so it's not really, it's kind of hard to get the wattage on a 3900X when you've got a graphics card on it. I could subtract it out from GPU Z. We could do, you know, we can get the wattage at the outlet for the whole system. You know, I'll go with 125. Is that accurate? You know, not really, especially because the way mine are set up, I've got to have a graphics card on them. So we're definitely using more wattage, but we've got it pretty, you know, streamlined. I don't have all that RGB stuff, all the extra fans. So there you see estimated profit per day 222. So what do? Look up the price of 3900X, 579 here. Where's the cheapest one at? Best Buy, 429. That's a huge difference. You know, Amazon really shafts you, right? 429. Now, for me having a gaming channel, it would make sense for me to splurge on a 5900X. So we will talk about that. That has to factor into my decision. Now, for you guys, probably doesn't, right? But maybe it does. If you're only getting one, if you've only got one gaming rig, you're probably going to want to honestly go with the 5900X because the 3900X sucks, in my opinion. Let's see something here. Make sure we're getting audio. All right, that was the audio check. All right, so, you know, obviously, simple math here. We found the cheapest 3900X, Best Buy. Sucks for those of you that can't go to Best Buy, but oh shit, sold out. What a surprise. I didn't even see that, folks. They were actually sold out of it. So 539, 579. Hell, I'd sell mine to somebody for these kind of prices. And then go get me something else. 539 divided by, where'd it go, folks? Where is it? It was 222, right? 222. We have so many things going on here. So 242 days potentially, right? You know, as you see, Raptoreum goes up significantly. That would be obviously cut down. If it drops, that's extended. Hell, though, if you need a CPU, right, you might want to go, hey, I was thinking about getting the shitty 3600, 3600X, 3500, 3100X. 3100X is horrible. 3200G, another lousy CPU. Subtract that price from this and then go, okay, that's really what my ROI is, right? I mean, if you were going to buy the shitty CPU and instead go with the better one, you could theoretically, you know, subtract the two, and that's the difference that you want to, you know, get back. But that said, 242. Okay. So let's bring up Notepad because, you know, yours truly will probably forget this. 3900X, ROI, and since, you know, days, we'll round up, right? 243 days. Next, we'll look at the 3900 XT. Now, where can we get that at? You won't find it on Amazon right now. This is ridiculous, folks. $8.99, huh? Holy cow. $8.99. That's the best price out there. So let's clear this out. 0. I am curious if this thing's going to be better. I love how this one, you don't have to hit the calculate button. 3900 XT. That's a higher hash rate, right? But does it really make much of a difference? 268. Yeah, I think you could pretty much, and down here 238. So I think you could pretty much say that this one is not going to be worth it. But just for the sake of it, let's go ahead and clear that out. We had $8.99. And that was divided by, where's that thing? 238. This is going to take an eternity to pay back. 377. Horrible, huh? Okay. So then there's the 3950. Let's check that out. $39.50. Boom. Wow. So that's pretty good there, right? 42.36 and $3 after electric, $2.70. So I'm gonna put this in here on this one, make life easier. $2.70 a day, at least as of today. What is our ROI? So $39.50. I think we saw it at Best Buy. Actually, it was Amazon. Amazon. No. Well, let's search for it. These things keep getting away. $39.50, $741. So that's definitely a better deal than buying a 3900 XT. I'll tell you that much. $741. See if we can get it at Best Buy. Sold out. What a surprise. I swear, I don't think Best Buy has anything ever. $741. All right. So $741. I think we're going to find that these are all a waste of our time. But we'll see. 741 divided by, nice hash, can you please? You know, you would think I would turn that off, right? But that's how into making money I am. Setting the example, folks. 274 days, right? Now, look at the 5900X. And I'm just, you know, real quick, I am curious before we move on to the 5900X. They don't have the, there it is. What does this thing do? 2011. You could almost buy two. Let's see. Of course, you know, you have to have all the hardware, right? If you already have the hardware, like I do, that's another story. So I could theoretically buy two 5600Xs, which I would do because I need more computers to put my graphics cards on instead of buying Celerons and Pentiums. So that would almost, in some aspects for me, be a better deal. What if I bought two of those guys? So that's the equivalent of your 3950X right there if you buy two 5800Xs, which is could be close to the same price. Amazing how that works out. All right, now we're moving on to 5900X. 3557 hash rate, 252 a day minus electric, 222. Let's go ahead and put that in there. $5,900X. I think we're going to find the best deal was Amazon. Sorry, folks. $524. They may match it, or they won't have it in stock. $524, $519. Dang. So you know what might be the way to go is to buy a computer that has a 5900X in it and an awesome graphics card. And then you're set. So you could also check eBay, but eBay is really crooked. $519. So I'm going to tell you before we move on, or after I do this calculation. $233. So, you know, there's a lot of other stuff to factor into this, all the other parts, right? But, you know, for me, like I said, I have a gazillion motherboards. I have a gazillion power supplies. I've got all this stuff sitting around. What I don't have are all the CPUs I need. I don't have the RAM. It's spread thin. The solid state drive. So three things. So if I was really going to do this, I would throw those prices in there. But you know, this is looking like graphics card territory. A little better in some. Some of these guys, you know, come up with like 100 some days. I don't know how the hell they come up with that, but I think, you know, what I'm seeing is matching what my computer's making. So, all right, 233. So that is actually the lowest ROI right there, folks. Huh? How about that? So far, we got one more to do. 5950X. I don't have anything extra on, right? $3950X. 4236. Pretty darn good. $3. $270. Okay. Let's put that information in here. Now, is this the CPU I'd really like to have? I think so. All right. Let's see if we can find a 5950X 746 there. What did I say? 746. 746. Let's see if we can beat it at Newegg. Probably not. $746. Same price. All right, so we'll put that in there. I should use Excel, right? That would be nice. Maybe next time. If we ever do this again for you guys. 746 divided by 2.70, 276. Now, like I had said, I'm in the market to buy a CPU regardless. I would have bought a good Intel 12th gen CPU. Maybe the i5, i7, 12700K. For that price, I really would never get any of my money back, and it would be beneficial to buy this CPU, at least for the time being. Now, you saw what we had there. 5900X is the way to go, right? I am curious what these other guys do, since there is a site that actually shows this. Wow. So these things are ungodly expensive. You'd make some pretty good money, 580, but 580 into what the cost of 39 one of these things is. That's going to take an eternity. Yeah. 500, 600 days. Be worth it maybe to have bragging rights. You know, not that many people have those on these channels, so it might be pretty impressive. So 1950X, I think you can actually get a hold of those. That wouldn't be too bad. You can find one for a decent price. Probably have to go to used. Look at that. I have to go to eBay. Some of these, you know, eBay here. That's like a new i5. What they're getting. So those aren't worth it. It's really nice this guy did this. There's a lot of websites out there that, you know, suck, but this guy's is pretty good. I mean, it's a lot like What to Mine, but 1192, 2700X. So, shit, can you get two 1100Xs? Or, excuse me, can you buy 2700Xs cheap these days? Probably not. I bet if I went on eBay, they'd probably be a fortune. Look at that. That is just ridiculous. If I go on eBay, oops. There's parts only. 189, huh? So 180 for about 380 if you had all the parts like I do. You potentially could get a decent hash rate out of two of these, but not worth it. Now, it's neat that this guy, he did this, you know, these are terrible. 4750G, yeah. Kind of like an i5. This is a laptop. I have the 4700H. I'll show you that because he doesn't actually have it, in case you're curious. 675. I do not have any overclocking going on it. Must be the other one. Let's see if this updated yet. This is driving me nuts how slow this thing is. I also wonder, like, it gives me this average, like I did so awesome, but then now seems to always be less. It occasionally should shoot over it, you know? And there we go. You see that? It jumped 10 RTM. So since the last time this showed up, we made what, 50 cents? So that's good. And so I wonder if that means this one is updated. Let's see. 13.59. Yeah, so these two are duds. They're not making anything. There's your 4700H on here. Of course, this computer is mining for mining on NiceHash. I don't know if that's really affecting it, but actually every one of these computers is mining for NiceHash. So, all right. And of course, if you wanted to see Intel, which we've already done a few of these, he doesn't have the 12900K on there yet, but you could probably check my channel for quite a few of a lot of these CPUs he doesn't have. I've got this one. Oh, you got to clear out the other one. That is kind of cool though. At least you can add them together. i7 8700K. How close to what I'm doing is that? Yeah, doing better, right? Not at the moment, I'm not, but I'm running OBS, so that's sucking up CPU. At least I think how I have the settings. So I'm doing a little better on that one. It's probably because I don't know if it's the amount of RAM. But yeah, you can do this. I'll come back and eventually do one for Intel, but you know, you can see if you hit this minus, so you're making 65 cents a day. You can imagine if you buy a brand new 12th gen i9, $600, whatever it is, that's going to take you a long time to pay back. You know, close to 1,000 days. So really, you don't want to mess with Intel unless you've already bought it, right? If you bought it, getting 65 cents a day after electric, that seems like a no-brainer. Unless you kill your CPU. All right, folks. Thanks for checking out the video. Hope you got something out of it. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.